So this is the second part of the e-commerce training lessons. We have first show you how to create your own online shop with OS Commerce or PrestaShop, or to create any kind of website with any kind of CMS. Now we'll go more in detail about coding on your own, the technology, because you saw that you have created your own application. It worked. You didn't use any technical skills. It was just drag and drop, use FileZilla, and that's all. You haven't done anything special. Anyone could have done it. But if you want to go further, deeper in the programmation, if you want to change color, if you want to adapt your website or update the CMS more in detail, you need to have some basic knowledge. So here we will teach you the basic technical skills to be able to work more in detail inside the HTML, the internet programmation.
Before seeing some basic programming skill, we need to understand the environment on the internet. There is two main environments: the user, you in front of your computer environment, and the server environment. So on the server environment, there is PHP and MySQL, who is executed. It's kind of motor of the website. He's controlling everything, and he's sending some results to the user, you. So it's HTML or Ajax or JavaScript or Flash. But they're just sending it. It's not, what they're sending is not executed on the server. So the second environment is you, it's your machine. And on your machine, the HTML is shown on your machine to present something. And with the HTML, there is the CSS, who is also executed on your machine. There is the JavaScript, who is executed on your machine. JavaScript is a technology. It's a programming language, just like PHP. But on the contrary of PHP, it's executed on your machine, which means that it's faster. It's not doing any request to the server far away. And then when you're using it, you're not refreshing your web page. It's exactly the same with Ajax. It's exactly the same principle. Ajax is just an update of JavaScript. And on top of this, there is also Flash, the Flash player, who is a kind of animation, who is also executed on your machine. So that's the two different environments on internet. So what is the role of each language, of each programmation language? The HTML is just a standardization system to tag file, which means it will show something. It shows something. Yes, actually, it's just showing something. It's showing the website that you're seeing, but it's not smart. It's not. It will not do some. It's not executing an algorithm. He will not do condition. He will not do circle, while, or anything like this. Who needs some algorithm, smart part, I would say. So there's nothing smart on HTML. The CSS is the style sheet, which means it's all the style of the website, who is put on CSS, and the CSS externalized from the HTML. So like this, you can say all the title, or blue and font 16, with or without underline. You can set it. You can manage the style from outside. So if you're writing 10 times a title, for example, you don't need to give 10 times. You have to explain 10 times what you want to do, how the title should look like. And actually, it's much faster after when you want to update it, because you just need to change the CSS, and all the title all around the website will be changed instantly. PHP is the motor of the website. All the intelligence is on the contrary of HTML. The PHP is all the intelligence of the website is on PHP. It can control everything. He will execute the website actually and generate the HTML, so you can read it at the end. as I said before, Ajax and JavaScript is also a motor like PHP who control your browser. It's full motor, but it's executed on the machine of the user. It's not executed on the server. It's not rebooted executed on the server. It's locally on your machine, which means that anyone can steal your code if you're doing a full application in Java or Ajax, JavaScript or Ajax. Anyone can see the entire code of your program, and anyone can copy it because it's version security. It's executed on the local computer of the user. So if you want to do something very safe that you don't want anyone to steal it, don't use Java, don't use Ajax, because it's not safe at all. Don't put any access to MySQL on Java because everyone will have the access, which is not the case on PHP. No one can have an access because it's executed on the server far away. MySQL is a language of database. It's a very powerful language. As I said before, for MySQL, if you don't know how to use it, you can use a PHP admin who will do everything for you, and he will also show you the request, so you can take the request and update them as you want to execute them automatically. As for Flash is the animation. It's an animation programming. It was very used during the years 2003 to 2008. Now people prefer to use Ajax. Why? Because it's more programming. Programmers prefer to use Ajax because it's line code. It's not a graphic tool. So Ajax is a bit like PowerPoint. And the really big problem of Ajax is search engine cannot, not Ajax or Flash. The big problem of Ajax is search engine cannot understand what is inside. It's a kind of executable. So when you put it online, the search engine cannot understand. If they cannot understand, they cannot follow the links inside. They cannot index it. They just don't understand. Just like an image or video, the search engine cannot understand what is in the image or in the video. Now let's see about HTML. HTML is very important. If you are doing anything on the internet, you need to know what is HTML. You need to know how to use HTML. At least you don't really need to know HTML. The code is very important, but if you don't know it, you should know that there is some software who will do everything for you in HTML. Just like Composer, which was NVU before, they changed their name. So you found Composer or NVU, any of them is the same software. And with this, it's a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. It's a WYSIWYG solution. So you can manage the HTML as you want. You can do the table as you want. You put picture, put some special color, or you do whatever you want. Actually, you can really do whatever you want with Composer. You save. You can see automatically the HTML source code. You can do the CSS with it. You can do everything, and by using Composer, you will learn on the same time. So if you don't want to take the full HTML tutorial, just take Composer. He will do everything for you very fast, instantly, and you can understand at the same time the entire code. So let's see the CSS basis. I'm not here to teach you how to be an expert in CSS. Even in 1 hour, it's not possible to teach you how to masterize CSS, and you will not have time you will not have the patience to understand everything in one time. But what I will teach you is how to have some basis so you can update it. By the way, I always told you, if you want to do a website, you take a template. You use the template. If you want to update it, when there is a template, you just update some little part of it. It's quite easy. If you have to start from scratch, it will be very complex. I'm not here to teach you how to start from scratch and to do an entire website. I'm here just to teach you how to update the CSS and understand the CSS, how does it work. So let's take the example of cross-border. If you you are on cross-border, here we will show the source code. So with the right click with the mouse, you can show the source code, and I will explain you in the next slide. So here you have the source code of cross-border. Here you can see immediately the link surrounded it, the links who are the CSS links. You can see 3 of them. So it means that all the CSS you cannot see it directly on the page, but they are externalized to a css.css file. So you can go to this file to see what is it exactly. So here we have opened the file style.css in the directory CSS. You can see how it looks like, how is the CSS. So each tag represents some elements in the website. Here we can see a very important tag, which is body, which means it's the entire website. We want for the entire website the font normal size 100%. With the font family, which means just the font. It's Arial. If we can't find Arial, we want Helvetica. If we can't find Helvetica, it's sans serif, etc., etc. We want the background, the color F2F, F2F, which is a kind of gray, and we want a special image to the top, which is only repeated in the X, in the abscess, not the alternate. That's how we explain the design of the website. Everything actually, it's the body, it's the most important. After you have contain, header, logo, some specific elements where we're specifying the dimension. Here it's only dimension and the font. But this is how we give some special dimension of element, the logo for example. So like this, we don't need to give this information anymore in all the pages on the logo. It's already right in the CSS, no need to explain it again. And if we want to change the logo, if we want to change it next year, we want to change it and there is 1,000 page on the website, we would not have to replace on the 1,000 page, we just need to replace on this CSS file and the 1,000 page will be automatically replaced. That's all the advantage of CSS. Since now I've explained you a lot of theoretic information about programming on internet, but now I will do a little exercise. It's good to do an exercise, take an example to show how to update. So for example, here we want to update the big menu. You see the big menu, home, service, PowerPoint, FAQ, news, apply. Now this big menu on top, we want to change it. If we want to change the color, for example, we want to put it in orange. Let's say we want to put it in orange. How to do it? You probably have no idea how to do it right now. Actually, it's very easy. You just need to open the source. So show the source, and to do this, you click Ctrl U, or you can also use your mouse, which is the right click on your mouse and show source. And here you will have an access to the entire source of the page, and you can search directly for the keyword home, because on the link on the menu there is home. And how to do the search, you press Ctrl F when you're inside the source, and you will immediately have a search engine to look inside, and here you will have home. If you type home, you will immediately arrive to the home part, to the CSS of the menu. And here you can see that the menu is called CSS menu. Home is the class active of the CSS menu, and yes, so if you want to change the color of the menu, you need to go on CSS menu. So now we'll check inside the website where could be CSS menu. I told you many slides before that you will need the software Notepad++. So Notepad++ is a software who will help you to search in the entire website something, information. Here there is only free CSS, but imagine that that we are in a very big website with 30, 40, or even more CSS file. How to find any information on 40 different files? It's quite complex. You will have to open one by one each of them. You could probably don't even know where they are. So it's quite hard. But with Notepad++, you can directly ask, I want to do a research in the entire system for all the file called CSS. So it's start.css with the word CSS menu. Here it is. We have the entire just look all the website for CSS menu, and here we found directly the parts who is managing the menu. So here we can see the color, the padding, everything. So we can just replace the color by orange and the size to automatically change the menu. Let's do the test. And this is the results. The police is a bit bigger and it's in orange, except home, who was in the class active. So it's another class. It's a class under the CSS menu. It's not the classic one. All the others are a bit bigger and orange. So the first exercise is done. Now you know that with Notepad++, if you have anything to change, it's quite easy. You can ask to Notepad++ to find you anywhere inside a website. It could be something else than a CSS. It could be inside the PHP script. It's exactly the same technique. You just give what you want to change, and Notepad++ will find the entire system, all the PHP script where it is. It will tell you it's here. You change it in this place, and that's all. It's very easy.
Okay, now that you have done your PrestaShop website and you have a little basis of CSS, you don't need you don't need to know how to use CSS. You just need to know how to update CSS. So let's do a little exercise. You have your PrestaShop shop, and you want to update it with the color of your website. So here you have the PrestaShop in black, and you see that cross-border, for example, is blue with a gray background. So let's adapt all the PrestaShop with the same color, the same design than the normal website. So how to do this? As I say, it's in CSS. You have to first open the global.css file, which is in PrestaShop, temp, default, CSS, global. Global, he managed everything, the global website. And here you could see that quite everything. There is the input.button mini, input everything, a lot of different information, or using the background of an image who is an image bg for background button.gif. With repeat X and the color, there is a specific color on it. So you just need to know that this is the color. The color is F4B61B. Wait, actually, if you want to know what is it, you just have to open the main CSS file, which was global.css, because global is the main one, and check where is the background, if you want to change the background. Here you found very fast that the background is the color F4B61B. So you just need to replace this color with the color of your background, the background that you want, and you will find with Composer and VU the color of your background, or you can check on your CSS which is the color that you want, and it's the color 237ACB. So with Notepad++, is a very good tool because it can replace everything everywhere. You can search, you press Ctrl H or Ctrl R. I think it's Ctrl H. Ctrl H, and you will have the replacement menu. And here say replace everywhere that you see F4B61B by 237 ACB, and the filter everything with CSS in the folder who is the PrestaShop folder, or in your shop folder. And here you will replace everywhere this. You will see also that the color 111, which is a kind of black, so you will find it somewhere in the code, and you can also replace everywhere the 111 by 237 ACB. So you just replace everywhere on all the CSS, and you will already have done a big job. It won't be finished, but a lot of job will be done. On the same file, which is global.css, it's exactly the same file. You will see that there is the footer who has a background color who is 333. It's gray. 333 is gray. So you will replace the background color by 237 ACB, and automatically your footer will be the color you want. You could have seen on the CSS that a lot of background are managed with image. Actually, even if you didn't show it on the CSS, when you're on the website and you say show me what there is, you see that it's an image. The background is not a color, it's an image. And you will see that all the background image are like this: BG for background underscore something PNG. They are all BG underscore something .png, which means background underscore and the name of the image. So what you need to do, you need to research in your folder, PrestaShop folder, all the image who are like BG underscore star, which means everything .png. So he will find you all the image, all the background image, and you open them with any Paint application, just like MS Paint. It's very simple. Everyone has this. The most simple system that you can find. You can use GIMP, you can use Photoshop, but MS Paint is enough. And you just change the color into blue if you want to use blue. So you put your image in blue. So all the background will be all the background of the menu that you want to be blue will be blue. Now you have to change. If you test like this, you will see that it's work, but the block are not correct. Why the block are not fixed? It's because the block has their own CSS, and the block CSS is not managed by the global one. So you have to open for each block that you still have and that you are remaining. You want to show. You have to check on the module, the block of the name, and the block name.css. You can open it with Notepad++, so after you will be able to replace everywhere this. And here, when you see the background, which was a background notch repeat scroll 00 DS000 double dots, the dot comma. When you see this on this one, you say I want to replace this everywhere with the same line, but you replace the 000, which is black, by the color you want, which is 237 ACB, and you replace everywhere. And after, normally all your blocks will be correct. Yes, everything is correct. The only thing who is remaining is you see that originally the website, the PrestaShop, was black with a white background, when the normal website, the cross-border website, was blue with a gray background. So you need to change the white background of the entire website with the gray background of the cross-border training of your website. So if you have another color, of course you change. You don't put gray. But how to change the background? You go back to global.css, which is a theme default CSS global, and here you will see a body background, and you replace the body background, the F2 by the F by F2, which is another gray, light gray. So it's on the body and body content only. And like this, the entire system will perfectly match to your color. Let's test. Ta-da! You see the results just by changing the CSS and the background image, and you have your new website who perfectly match to the color of your normal website. So you have completely integrated your normal CSS to the new application. So you can do exactly the same. It's just global.css and CSS from the block and the image to change, and after everything will work. Simple.
So now let's see PHP. PHP is not easy to understand how this works. I will not teach you in a few minutes how to be an expert in PHP, but in a few minutes I can explain you that you can do things without knowing anything in PHP just by using generators. There are some generators online. Here I would propose you two generators. There is a script case, who is a famous generator. The problem is it's not free, but he will do you something very nice, very proper, and you really don't need to understand a lot. It's graphical, it's completely graphical application. And I put another application that I've developed, who will generate a form and all the administration of a form. So to update, to create some form about any table on database, to update the table, to delete the table, to the administration. He will generate an administration form to administrate a table on a database. It's the most useful. It's what you will use all the time. So first, of course, you need a database. Here I give you an example of the database test CBT. I just created this database. There's nothing inside actually, just for the test. So you can go on PHP admin, the link that I gave you with test CBT and the password that I gave you here, QWERTY. So you can create tables, and here I give you a link, crossbordertraining.php. It's crossbordertraining.com/PHP form generator. Here you have the tool who will generate the entire administration for the table that you will have just created, and completely in PHP. So with this you can generate some good table, good form in PHP without knowing anything in PHP, and it's like this that you will learn. By using this, you will update it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, maybe 5 times, and at the end you will have some good notion. More you will use it, more you will have some good notion about PHP. But you don't need to know everything, or you don't need to take a tutorial. It's better if you take a tutorial, but you don't need to take a tutorial to do some basic application. There is some generators.
So don't forget to download the full generators on www.crossbordertraining.com/phpformgenerator.zip. Here you will have access to all the script, and you just need to change the MySQL password and upload it to your server. Now let's talk about SQL requests, SQL query. Just like for PHP or CSS or any technology, online technology, I will not teach you how to code directly in SQL. SQL is very powerful, but I don't want to teach you line by line how to use select, how to use update or insert or create table or repair table or union or anything. I don't want you to learn like a teacher will teach you at the university, and you will spend 1 month to understand how does it work, and it will be good. After 1 month you will be able to do it. But it's not what I want to teach you. I want you to be efficient immediately. To be efficient immediately, you should know that there is plenty of solution. Just like for HTML, a composer can generate for you. SQL, you can use, for example, Access from Microsoft. Access, it's a very powerful tool. It's a full graphical tool. You can generate your SQL request. You can do much more things, but you can generate your SQL request. You can generate an SQL request linked with 10 table, just with few clicks, and it will generate your 50 lines SQL request. Yes, if you want to have fun, if you want to impress your computer engineer, you can come with Access, you import a table, you generate your super big SQL request with 10 tables and some very complex requests inside, query inside, and you show the result of the SQL request to your engineer. Say, what do you think of this? Do you think it's do you want to add anything on it? I want to execute it. Your computer engineer will be, wow, how do you know? How have you been able to do this? Because even him, it would have took, if you directly code it would have took him maybe 1 week to code it. So if you just do it in a few clicks with Access and you generate the code, he will be very impressed. But I will not teach you how to use Access or Open Bases from OpenOffice. I will show you how to use PHPMyAdmin, which is the tool that you will have on your domain, on your server. Every website server has PHPMyAdmin. So here it is. On PHPMyAdmin, I have selected the table Harvest, and Harvest is the table with all the data that we have harvested from the yellow pages, from different directories online. And here, for example, here you can see already there is a select query, select star from Harvest, order by Harvest ID, ASC, limit 0/30. This is a simple SQL request. Actually, it means I want the details from the table Harvest, order by ID 1 to the smallest to the biggest, and I just want for the 30 first. It's a very simple request. If you want, you can already play with this just to have this kind of request. But you can edit the table to edit the details, and automatically you will have the update request generated. You can insert, you can click on insert and insert table in the table, so you will have the insert request to use it. And for example, if you want to use select, here I'm clicking on select. If you want to select on this table everyone that you have collected from Alibaba, so everyone who's Alibaba's user, who has a mobile phone to send them an SMS, for example. So mobile phone, you select on the field mobile phone the regular expression regexp dot is just a dot to say I want everything, but I don't want something empty. If this means everything who is not empty, because actually you cannot say I just want numbers. Sometimes people are typing plus 86 to say 0086. People are typing parentheses to say parentheses 86, or people are putting dash in some place or dots in some place. So by using the regular expression dot, you say I want everything but not empty. And you say, and with an email, we can also send them an email. So it will be everyone with a phone number, a cell phone, and an email from Alibaba. So on mail you say like percentage arrobas, so it will select everything with everyone with an arrobas inside. Very simple. Here I execute it, and you can immediately see the request, select star from Harvest where URL like percentage Alibaba percentage and mobile regular expression dot. And you see, it's very simple. It took me a few seconds to generate this request. You can select it, execute it directly in PHP, and it will work. So here you can generate any kind of very simple request, select, update, insert, create table, any kind of very simple request. And with simple requests, you should know that if you need to do a very big request actually is just several small requests. You don't need to do in one time a very, very big request. And actually, I saw a lot of computer engineers who were doing some very big, very strong requests linked to different database and different table, and something very, very, very complex. And after 2 years, someone changed field on the table, and the entire structure bugged, and no one was able to update it, because it's it's a super long SQL request of 50 line, and to find where is the mistake inside, good luck. But a very long SQL request of 50 line can be done in 50 line of very simple requests. 50 requests of one line, and it will work as well. But at least it's very simple task each time. And if one bug, first the entire is not bugging, it's just one line who is bugging. If the problem happened with a table was changed, it will be one line who will bug. It's not the entire system who will bug. And when it will bug, you will immediately see which one bug, because it's this request who bug. It's not the entire system who is bugging, and you can correct it very easily. So when you want to do so, you need to code. Remember that some very simple requests from PHP admin are very often, for 99.9% of the case, enough. You don't need something very, very complex. So like this, you do a lot of simple requests. Everyone know how to do it. It's just click graphical, and it will work. Very simple.
Let's talk now about Flash animation. Flash was a technology very used during the years 2003 to 2008 to put some animation on websites. Very used on hotel websites, for example, to show luxurious things. Flash, normally, originally, to use Flash, you needed to use a Macromedia Flash, who is a powerful software, but an extremely expensive software. I don't remember the price, but it should be around 10,000 RMB. So it's quite expensive. I will not teach you how to use Microsoft Flash, Macromedia Flash. First, because it's very expensive, it's quite complex, and because there is another solution nowadays, who is very simple to use, extremely simple to use. It's PowerPoint. PowerPoint is also an animation tool. Do some animation to present normally in a presentation, but it's also, you can animate whatever you want in PowerPoint. And when you do your PowerPoint, you can convert your PowerPoint in MP4 or AV, or not directly with PowerPoint 2013. You cannot convert in Flash, which is extension SWF, but you can convert it with OpenOffice Impress, which is the open source PowerPoint. So actually you don't really need to know how to use Flash, because there is some very simple tools. I guess everyone know how to use PowerPoint, and when you do a PowerPoint, you can just convert it after in Flash, and you will have it. Very simple. So let's open PowerPoint. Here is anti-PowerPoint. I will do here a little animation to explain the past and the future of China on cross-border market. So first, let's add some pictures, some little animation. Just for example, I want the world map. I'll select the world map, put the world map. Here I've already put also a factory in China. Here, when you do this, you can immediately add some animation. Here I will add a little animation on the factory, and here I'm going quite fast. Here we're putting a lot of buyer, a lot of shop all around the world. So you see, it's just putting some image on top. It's some recorded picture, so I'm a bit faster than the real one, of course. So I'm just putting some shop all around the world. So I just need to group all of them together, to put some status. And after I do some animation to make the cash move from the sellers, from the buyers to the sellers, and the TV, not the TV, it's radio, from the sellers to the buyer. I'm explaining everything with little animation, how the commerce work. So here it's 22 slides, so it's not. I didn't do it right now. It took me 1 hour to do it. Here you can see that I have a big slide, big presentation explaining all all the markets, the cross-border markets since 1990 to nowadays, and explaining that since now the world economy works from foreign import-export company who sell in local markets, but in the future it should be a Chinese company who work with internet and directly sell to final clients, because internet is much more powerful and people are buying much less and less in supermarket, but more and more on internet. So Chinese company can directly supply the final buyer than import-export companies. So this is done. Now you just need to save. With PowerPoint 2013, you can save directly in MP4, which is a video animation. Like this, you can play it on internet, you can play it wherever you want. It's a video, actually, it's not SWF. But if you want, it will work as well, exactly the same as SWF. But if you really want an SWF, you can also use it with Open Impress, which is the PowerPoint, the open source PowerPoint, and you can save. I want it in SWF. Here, you can select SWF, so you will have it directly in SWF. And this is the play. Here it's playing the animation. So you can see that I will let you see. You probably already see it on internet. It's in the years 19 to 2000. The commercial, the world commerce was seller all around the world and buyers all around the world, and so the money was going to sellers, and sellers after all go back to Guangzhou to Guangdong Fair to take some new product from the Chinese factories. Very classic. And you can see that here they're all coming to Guangzhou to buy some new products, and then they will come back to their own country to sell it again. The problem here is that Chinese factory receive a little bit money when the import-export company receive 10 times more money than the Chinese company. But actually, it's the Chinese factory who are doing all the job. It's not sellers. Sellers is not doing so much. Now for the last part of my training lesson about how to do your own websites, how to program on internet. I want to see how to create a mobile website. Why a mobile website? Because on Earth nowadays 60% of people are looking internet from a mobile device or an iPad. So if you don't do a website adapted for this kind of device, 60% of people who will go on it will have some difficulty to move inside your website, because it's not adapted to the screen. So what is a website for a mobile device? Actually, it's just a website. It's just a small website, 300 pixel large, and that's all. Just a small website. So to create your mobile website, you just need to know how to create a website, nothing more. And how to create a website. If you don't know how to do HTML, don't forget that you can still use Composer. Composer will do everything for you. It's free, and it's fully WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. So you need to know much more. The only difference between a mobile website and a classic website are these two meta tag line, or which device and the Apple mobile website capability, which yes, the two line here. You just need to put this in the header of your website to say to all applications that this website is done for cell phone, for mobile website application. So so it will be shown on screen out of 300 pixel. That's all. With this, it will work after. Last thing, very important thing, when you have a mobile website, don't forget to transfer the people who are in your real website, in the normal website for a desktop computer, and who are using a mobile website. Don't forget to transfer them to the mobile version. Else, people with the cell phone will go on your website and they will see the real one. Stupid, you have a mobile version, but they will see the real big one where they cannot navigate because it's very complex. This problem, I would say 60% of webmasters who do a mobile website do this mistake. It's a big mistake. So, of course, if you have a mobile website, don't forget to transfer all the people who are with a mobile device to the mobile website. For this, you just need to add on the PHP code of the normal website these 3 lines, actually 2 lines. If you see on the user agent the word mobile, then you transfer it to the mobile version, and that's all.